Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We had a wonderful brother here, which we wanted to introduce to the community. Alhamdulillah, he has a lot to share and a lot that we can benefit and learn from, inshallah. So, if we can have a bit of your attention, and if you're outside, please keep the volume low, inshallah, so whoever wants to focus can focus, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, brother. What's your name?
So, yeah, I guess for Chinese people, names are always a bit of a funny thing because it's always like Jing Wu or like Xing Chang or something. Like nobody can remember. So, like my actual name is Jing Ren. Growing up, I went by Andrew. Like about a year ago, I thought that like it made more sense to go by Muhammad. During Itikaf, now they call me Muhammad al-Ghanzawi because I'm from Guangzhou in China.
Muhammad al-Ghanzawi, yes. Welcome, brother Muhammad. How long have you been a Muslim for?
It's been, this is my third Ramadan.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. So third Ramadan, how's that going? Does it get easier with the years?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess like since I'm pretty new to the faith, every Ramadan, I guess it's been a series of fast progressions. Every Ramadan's been very different. The first two Ramadans were super busy, so like I didn't focus as much on the ritual ibadah. This Ramadan, I'm focusing more on the ritual ibadah, and so yeah, it's definitely like really eye-opening. It's yeah, I guess just spiritually speaking. Yeah, I guess like, you know, when I went into this Ramadan, for me it was like a business transaction, sort of. It's like, you know, like I'm counting my salah, right? I'm counting my taraweehs, my qiyams, trying to see how many nights of prayer I have, doing the math, right? So, okay, I want to have 60 nights of full prayer. Yeah, the hadith is that if you stay until the imam leaves, then you have the full night of prayer for taraweeh. You do it again for qiyam, then you have 2 nights of prayer for one night. And then also you get half a night for isha and half a night for fajr. So I was trying to do the 3 nights every night and try to get 90 nights of prayer. But I was trying to do the math, but it's still like a business transaction. I think like the last 10 nights I've been doing itikaf, staying in the masjid. I've seen brothers that go to the next level. Beyond just the math, there's also the spirit. And so I think that's like the thing that I'm trying to learn more about now.
Inshallah. Oh, that's amazing. May Allah allow us to get to that level. Mm-hmm. So you mentioned you've been doing itikaf. Is this your first time? How's that going? Share the experience for the people.
Yeah, so this is my first itikaf. Yeah, I think like going in, I was a bit hesitant just because I didn't know if I could do it because I had to work as well, at least for the first 4 days. You know, I think it's just like the hadith on having children, right? You're supposed to have like, you know, don't kill your children out of poverty. Don't like not have children because you're afraid you'll be poor, because Allah will make a way. I think Allah also makes a way with time during itikaf. So I managed to survive for the first 4 days, and now I'm on vacation. I'm not staying up all night. I think like one thing that really surprised me is, you know, I think you know, like, it's part of the deen to know the community, right? To know if, for example, who's in need, right? How can you help somebody, right? What does this person do? What does that person do? How can you work together to like make the ummah stronger, right? And now I think it's very difficult to do that in the course of daily life. Like even in Fajr prayer, there's so many brothers I meet. They look like super interesting people, but as soon as Fajr ends, people just like sprint out the door, and you don't have any chance to talk to any of the brothers in the first row or anywhere. So I think itikaf, one really interesting thing is that it's like this magnetic force that draws together people in the community, and we're bound by the deen to like relax a bit and actually spend time to talk to each other. So I think that's been really great.
That's wonderful. That's amazing. And inshallah, this will be your last itikaf. I hope you had a positive experience, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So the question that definitely most people here have on their minds is, what got you interested into Islam?
Yeah, so I guess I'll begin with like how I found out a bit, how like, you know, my process of becoming a Muslim. So I was doing a master's in Switzerland, and then you know, a friend from my bachelor's contacted me, asking me to go on a trip to Malaysia, and just me and him for 2 weeks. There was like 2 other people, but you know, by the divine will, they had dropped out at the last minute. Just me and the brother. And it's a very interesting brother also. He's a brother I respected a lot because, you know, he was like one of the top people at Waterloo CS. He's a very smart brother, and he had like this job offer, right, that, you know, would have paid him more than a surgeon, or as much as a surgeon straight out of college. But and he wasn't that practicing up to this point, right? And then at this point, you know, he talked to a few shuyukh, right? And then it was a bit questionable whether this job was haram or halal. And he decided to not take this job. This was his dream job, right? And rejected it because it was questionable. And then he became, from that point, he devoted himself to deen, became super knowledgeable. So that's like the background, right? And then like flash forward a year, he and I go on this trip for 2 weeks. He's just telling me about the Quran and Hadiths, and I was very impressed by actually like how much clarity a religion can give you in life. So yeah, I went on this trip for 2 weeks. I saw the Muslim world, saw that Muslims are friendly people. I went back to my dorm. I studied Islam for a month, and then I decided to become a Muslim.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Do you have any regrets?
No. It's actually like it is quite a perfect religion. I think like that's one thing I had to prove, right? Like I have a bit of like a logical, like mathematical background, so I had to like prove to myself like that this religion cannot be falsified in the course of a lifetime, and so like it has no regrets.
That's amazing. I think majority of us here would be, born into Islam, and we might see an aspect of challenges, but definitely the perspective that you would see would be different. So, what would you say are some of the challenges that within these 3 years you face, whether it's like social norms or family gatherings or whether business or work, challenges that you've seen around?
Yeah, well, on like in terms of the human interactions, like I think most people are reasonable people, right? Like, my parents, weren't the biggest fan of my decision at first. There's like whole tropes. Muslims have unfortunately gotten a very bad reputation, largely due to media. But yeah, people are essentially empirical beings, right? We're evidence-driven. The Quran mentions very often that people only essentially cater their desire. Cater to what they can physically witness, right? And that's like a bad thing, right? Because people don't believe in the unseen. But it's also a good thing because it means that people update their priors, right? If somebody is really good to you, then you'll realize that maybe they're on a good path. So essentially, I became a religion. There were some issues at home, so I was super good to my parents. I'll help them through the hard times. Got a cool job, and I think they become very happy with my decision.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I think. Just in terms of one interesting misconception, I guess, it's just when I first became a Muslim, I thought it was either deen or dunya. I thought all right, now I'm gonna shave my head, I'm gonna just memorize Quran and live super modest life. And I think that it is very virtuous to live a modest life. In fact, I really strive to do that. But I guess one also has to do it from the position of the upper hand, ideally. So alhamdulillah, the dunya has not forsaken me. After becoming a Muslim, I also worked very hard in the worldly sense with the correct intentions, and things have turned out very great.
Allah's blessing, alhamdulillah. So, what is something that you're working on right now, inshallah, and you have a goal, a target that you want to achieve, whether it's learning Arabic or memorizing the Quran or parts of it?
Yeah, so I guess one thing that really impressed me is so I was my goal is Ramadan, I hit it, alhamdulillah. It's just stand for the Qiyam, stand for the Taraweeh. That's great. But I think the next level is when Allah recites the Quran to you through your own voice, right? When you can actually be in a room by yourself and just reading the Quran, making a long sajda at your own pace. I noticed that this is a gate that's not open to me yet, and so I need to alhamdulillah, some brothers spent 6 months teaching me tajweed. I just haven't practiced. So I think I'm my next goal is just to get to a point where at least 1 or 2, 3 juz I can just read them quickly, comfortably. And then I don't think it's on in my scope yet to memorize, but I want to get to the point where next Ramadan I can just find a room or a dark corner somewhere and just pray on my own.
So when are we gonna see you later?
Oh no.
Inshallah soon. The final thing is, what is something that you want to deliver to the audience, which is majority, people born into Islam, what are blessings that you want to reflect upon for people to be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for? What is something that you want us to improve, whether it's our duty towards new reverts or new Muslims? The floor is open.
Yeah, well, it's this is a bit of a very difficult thing to say correctly, maybe. But I think one thing that is probably very important is just to follow Islam. Is just to actually follow the Sunnah in terms of and things will turn out well. And a simple example, I don't want to go too deep into it because it's a bit tragic for some of the people involved. But Now, like after I became a Muslim, 4 of my very good friends got married, right? 2 of them are going strong. 2 of them, like, you know, ended very quickly in a very bad way, right? And the ones that like are still there, it happened because, like, what is hadith, right? Like there are 4 things people marry for, but what's the best one? It's the deen, right? That's like, and there's like all kinds of examples, right? It's like, you know, tie the knot, right? Like work as hard as you can. If I was looking for a job, right? Like, you know, the brother, you know, he was giving me advice, right? Very, very passing brother. He's like, okay, we'll take maximum means, apply for 100 jobs a day, right? So like, I think there's like, follow the religion. This is probably like the thing I'm trying to do, and I think it probably works out well if you do it correctly.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, very well said. Jazakallah khairan, Brother Muhammad, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you and us steadfast upon the religion and help us bring others as well to this religion. And brothers, it's our duty to give our brothers and sisters who are, you know, have joined the community recently a home and give them a welcoming place and be there for them, inshallah, because alhamdulillah, and we've all been blessed to have families, to have the community around us. For them, they're still figuring this out. So it's our duty towards them to be there for them and create that space for them. Jazakumullah khairan. Barakallahu feekum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.